on 10, got me on 10, got me on 10, got me on 10. Did it again, got me on 10, got me on 10, got me on 10, got me on 2 doors in my coupe. I look better under you, girl, I love you, you my truth.
Good morning, I just got to the office. I'm the first one here, which is kind of a surprise, but I had this waiting for me at my desk. It's the Pixel Fold, and I'm so happy to finally get a new work phone. I've been using the Pixel 7 Pro for I think 2 years now. Don't get me wrong, it's a great phone, but I've really been wanting to use a foldable device as my main driver for a really long time, and I'm gonna wait a little bit longer so I can film an unboxing for it. I'll probably do that at home, so follow me on Instagram if you want to see me unbox it. And while I'm here and no one else is here, I figured I'd show you the stickers that I got for attending the orientation for new Google employees and transfers to the San Francisco office. Even though I've been working here for a couple months, it's just funny, I just kept on missing orientation because of meeting conflicts. But it was really cool. I got to learn a lot about the different perks and amenities that each building has to offer, so I'll be showing that more in future vlogs. But right now, I think it's time to get some coffee, so let's go. Today has been a busy day, but I'm about to eat some lunch. I'm gonna go back to the 10th floor, which is where I got my coffee earlier this morning. It's pretty much my go-to cafe at this point because there's so many food options up there. There's the barista, there's ramen, there's pizza, Mediterranean food. But if I'm being honest, I'm just going up there because of convenience. It's in the same building that I work in, and I can't even say that's my favorite San Francisco office cafe because I've only ever been to 4 cafes. Maybe to motivate me, I'll make a video on ranking all the cafes, so let me know if that's something you'd be interested in.
Merry-go round, round with ya. In and out, then up and down, down, down. It's getting old, going around, round with ya. Think I need some solid ground. Merry-go.
That's no Let's hot. Ooh, that's cold. That's hot. Let's go. Let's hot. Ooh, that's cold.
Riding in my drop top, windows down. Think I'm going crazy, looking for a sign. You and me should stop, settle down. Go our separate ways and never turn around.
Alright, so I just have a meeting right now. It's a virtual coffee chat with another Google employee. So Coworker reached out to me because they saw my video where I talk about how I became a millionaire in 5 years working at Google, and so they wanted to talk a little bit more about what I actually did, because in that video I kind of did like a really broad overview of how I did it, and so I think they just want to talk about a little bit more about specifics. But I went to the cafe and I got iced matcha latte with almond milk. I used to be an oat milk person, but I heard that it's really bad for you because it spikes your blood sugar, so I switched back to almond milk, even though the reason I switched away from almond milk is because of like how much water almond uses. I'm like running out of options, so I'm trying to figure out what else kind of milk I can use. So they messaged me saying they're going to be a little bit late, which is why I'm checking in with you now, which is fine. You know, things happen. But yeah, it's kind of like a full circle moment because I learned a lot about what I know about money from other Google employees. So within Google, there's like a lot of different communities for whatever you're interested in. The groups that I joined relating to money are the investing group, personal finance group. There's another group for people that want to retire early. And so like people are just like very open about their money goals, they share their real numbers, and they share what they're actually doing with their money to reach their goals. And I feel like that's really inspiring for me and really encourages me to like see different viewpoints, different strategies, and seeing what I like from their strategy and applying it to my own. And of course, I'm doing my own research, doing my own due diligence because it is my money, my responsibility. People here are super open about money. I think it's really interesting because, you know, in these groups, everyone is a Google employee, and so there's that aspect of camaraderie or like maybe that shared background where people feel comfortable sharing. And I think that really encourages me to post financial content because I know not everyone has access to these kinds of groups. But yeah, it's one of the perks I really enjoy about working here is just like having access to all these smart people who are very open, very kind. And also it's like people who have accomplished what I want to accomplish, and I think that's the best people to learn from because like they actually went and did it. They're in the room, so I'm gonna join the call. Yeah, nice to meet you. Probably my favorite room in the entire San Francisco office that I'm in. It's the art room, pretty cool. So it's the end of the day, just want to do a little recap. Basically, pretty much spent the rest of the day heads down coding, which is like one of the other projects that I'm working on. It's kind of an interesting problem trying to tackle the 3 different projects that I'm working on, but I pretty much planned it out so that I'm making progress on all 3 throughout the week. And today just worked on 2 different projects, one before lunch, one after lunch. And I feel like that's a really good way to do it because you don't have to context switch as much, and so you're able to do a lot of focus work. So the thing I'm coding, it has to do with animations, and animations is basically whenever something moves across the screen, that's pretty much an animation. So yeah, basically I'm working on an animation to improve something. I know that's a super vague explanation, but because it's not released, it's confidential, and so I can't really talk about it. Actually, my first public video on this channel is a video where I talk about 3 different projects that I worked on, and I also share a lot of implementation details because all of that code is open source and people can see the commits, the history, the code itself. So if you want to go check it out, it's there. This art room is so cool, perfect for videos, but also like a lot of art supplies for people that do like traditional physical art. So I think I'm gonna start taking a few classes here. Alright, so I'm home now and I just finished putting together a rough outline of the vlog, so putting all the clips on the timeline. And I gotta say, I'm super impressed with the quality from the Insta360 Ace Pro. And I also want to acknowledge my messy desk because my friend came over a couple days ago and she called me out on having like such a clean desk on camera, but in real life it's messy. Before I end today's vlog, I did want to give an update on how I've been liking the Insta360 Ace Pro. And Insta360 did send me this camera. I talked about it in my last vlog, but they're not sponsoring this video. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on how I've been liking it and how I've actually been using it to improve my vlogs. And I gotta say that the majority of my b-roll on this vlog is shot on this tiny little action camera, and I am a big fan. Even though I've been vlogging for a long time, I still find it kind of embarrassing to film myself in public, especially at work. What I love about this camera is that it's so small that people really don't notice it, especially because you can hide it pretty easily with things like a cup or a bag. In terms of my settings, I like to shoot at 4K resolution at 24 frames per second, or I also shoot at 4K at 60 frames per second, and that just gives me a lot of different options, and it depends on which mode I'm using. It is a fixed lens, but you can use the clarity zoom feature to get a 2x zoom. So even if the camera is kind of far, you can still zoom in and get a high quality video. It's 2024, so of course the camera has an app on your phone, and it's a really great way to see if you are in frame because you can see whatever the camera can see. Because again, it's 2024, of course this camera has AI features. You can use AI to find the highlights in your videos to save time on editing, and you can also use the AI warp to transform your footage with AI effects, which actually looks kind of cool. Overall, like I said, big fan of this camera. It's small enough that I can take it with me everywhere, and I'm able to capture even more footage of my day because of the form factor, so you'll be seeing a lot more footage from this camera in my future vlogs. I know that was a lot of information in a really short amount of time, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.